When our Lord is commanding us to love, He's commanding us to be obedient. Obedient to the Father in the same way that Jesus Himself was obedient to the Father. I heard a story once of a governor who was running for re-election. He was running all over the state trying to drum up votes, and one Sunday afternoon he was weary from all of his campaigning and all of his vote gathering. He found himself that afternoon at a church picnic after he had spoken to the people to try to get some support, and since he hadn't had any time to eat, he made his way over to the line of people getting food. He took his tray, he took his plate, he took his silverware, and as he moved down the line getting a salad, some bread, he came to the woman who was giving out the chicken, and he was really hungry. So the woman gave him the piece of chicken, and he looked at her and he said, "Ma'am, I am starving. Could you please give me a second piece of chicken?" And then the woman looks at him and says, "I'm only supposed to give out one piece of chicken to each person." So then he says to her, "But I'm really hungry. Can you give me one?" And again she says no. Usually this governor was quiet and unassuming, but in this situation he decided to show some of his power. And he said to the woman, he says, "Ma'am, do you know who I am? I am the governor of this state." And with that, the woman replied to him, "And do you know who I am? I'm the person in charge of the chicken. Move along." God calls us to be obedient, but in order to be obedient, we have to be humble. Humility is knowing what is our place before God. Being humble isn't just being quiet and accepting everything that comes to us. No, being humble gives us great confidence. Think of the humility of a little child in her mother's arms. The little child looks up for the mother. The little child depends upon everything from the mother. And the child also has great confidence that all of her needs will be met by the loving Father. Friends, if we're to be obedient to the will of God, if we're to have that same love which will allow ourselves to pour out our lives as Jesus did on the cross and as He gives Himself to us in the Eucharist, we need to have that same confidence in the Father's care and concern for us. And if we have that confidence, if we're obedient to His will, we can be assured that we will go and we will bear fruit that will remain.